Hey guys, Roshi's here. Today we're going to be playing my Nightmare Vox deck. What we're looking to do is utilize Sacrifice Synergy and all of the nightmares you get from Corrupted. And what this allows us to do is turn on our Shrine to Carvets and draw a lot of cards. And this also helps us get Kato online. So, usual suspects for a sacrifice deck, we've got Kindling Carver, just super efficient, one of the best at what we need, and typically demands a removal spell. With it being a 1-drop, that's quite good. Okay, next up we've got Vox being one of the better sacrifice outlets, as it actively is removal. It doesn't draw us any cards, but what it does do is create board advantage, because all of these corrupted units become nightmares when they die. We could go a little further and try and play cards like Icaria and other nightmare cards, but I like the consistency, so I opted to use Dova as sort of a win con or value engine, so be it. Making the dragons is nice too. Doesn't happen too often, but typically he'll come down, you'll combust something, draw your card, or devour something, or trigger one of your corrupted units, so typically you get some sort of value plus whatever removal spell they use against you, and it's quite good. For the sideboard, we've got, the market board, we've got Worthy Cause, Voprex's Choice, Favor, Unmake, and Edict of Shavka. This could change. I definitely think I might want to replace one of these removal spells, which is something that generates card advantage or value, but I'm not sure what I like yet. I believe Touch of Resilience, the one that gives revenge, could be a good option, and I may experiment with that later, but yeah, Worthy Cause is good. We already have a sacrifice theme. You can play your Blazing Salvo in response to a removal spell, and then rip out Worthy Cause and sacrifice whatever they killed. And it can also be used as a way to get lifesteal whenever you don't have Shrine, or to turn on Shrine. Then we've got Voprex's Choice. This is pretty good. It lets us recast our Jawbone Greatsword or Claw, and it's also just a removal spell in a pinch. As far as Favor, just sometimes stuff has 3 health, or you need to make a land drop, and it's quite good. Unmake, because otherwise we'd have no way to deal with attachments, and sometimes all you need is to kill 1 or 2 attachments and all of their tempo is lost, and you can win in the meantime. Other than that, it's just a synergy deck, and I look forward to busting out some games with it. I suppose last but not least, we are running Profane Nexus. This is basically just devours 5 and 6. Sometimes it can be better than that, because they'll typically attack it or use some sort of resource on it. Since it's only 4 power, it's not too much of an investment. It ends up gaining you way more life than you'd think, because they have to waste a whole turn attacking it, and it draws you 2 in the meantime. So, pretty good card. If you ever get Abrak, I mean, he's okay, but sometimes his ability can be more of a downside than an upside. And Last Rites and Soul's Fury can just be removal or ramp in a pinch. But since we top out at Claw, and like typically we really just top out at like Dova or Strange Burglar, we're not trying to get to like insane amounts of power, and the ramp's not too crazy, but sometimes, you know, You just really need that power, so it can be good. Had an exploder there on me. Guinness is everywhere. Luckily, it only got on me, so I don't have a mess. As long as it stays off my equipment, I am a Gucci.
Our memories give us strength.
Almost played the wrong land there. I might have played that differently, but he was so kind as to play his minion first, so we killed that. Just a fun reminder to always, whenever you can, play your stuff on main phase 2 if you don't need it right away. Play this out before the shrine because I don't think I'll be turning on shrine anytime soon, so I'd rather save myself 2 life and just play shrine next turn. It's looking like we're getting flooded a bit here, but we do have Claw. So if our Wisp can buy us enough time, maybe some of our top decks be looking pretty good. Also, any sack outlet is pretty good here.
I can supply what you need.
Fortunately, that is not a sack outlet.
Whatever you need.
Ouch. Yeah, so we're probably dead here if we don't draw sack outlet.
I can supply what you need.
Cool. Fun game. That can be a downside of this deck is since we're playing shrines, even though we're playing a ton of sacrifice, if you only hit shrines and lands and like no sack targets, you just lose. So that's some variance it adds, but the card is definitely worth it. There's a potential to maybe play less than 4 shrines, but that card's just so crazy. We always want one, and basically one of the main themes of the deck. It's nice to be able to have more if they kill it, since there's quite a few attachment hate cards going around. Late game, being able to charge out a Kato, make an 8/8, and potentially make 2 8/8s if you have the power or the sack outlet already, is pretty good. With 1 shrine, assuming you played and sacrificed Kato, that's a 20 lifesteal swing, where you're gaining 20 life and potentially hitting them for 20. I've had instances where a top deck Kato just one-shots my opponent. This hand's a little sketchy. I'll see if I can draw more power. Nice. So this is okay. Light Moth is such a quality card at staving off most aggression. Alright. We'll play out Vox here. They might just kill it right away, but make full use of our power and
Adventure is everywhere.
yeah. Go ahead and Blight Moth here. I'm gonna play out Carver, but I'm not gonna do... I don't like using the ability if I'm tapped out. I'd rather do it at the start of my turn. He's trading Finest Hour here. I guess that makes sense if it gets his guy powered up, but definitely he's not getting full value out of his Giant's Growths. Definitely glad I chump blocked though, instead of just ignoring it. Yeah, let's go ahead and sack here, see what we can hit. We will play that, and that'll actually let us play Dova on time.
What we need.
Ending him using all of his pump spells to pump this guy. We might have just stonewalled him. We'll see though. Counting on Rakano to be out of pump is wishful thinking usually.
Step aside, tyrant.
But maybe my wish paid off. Cool. So now we have Dova and Strange Burglar in play. Not gonna do anything, but just two separate threats that win combat against both of his minions. If we can untap like this, we can potentially take over this game pretty hard. Yeah, I'll make blocks like this. I don't mind losing my Dova. He obviously has something. Alright. Giant's Growth 3 of 4, I assume.
Little inspiration.
Ah, okay. This is a nice pickup for us. I will sacrifice here just because we have enough mana to cast just about everything. It's looking like it paid off for me here.
I nurture the shadows.
I'm not gonna use his ability. I also don't care that much about milling him. I don't think he's played anything with Renown, so if he's playing Kato, I'm better off not triggering that.
Salvation.
Alright, so we're basically back where we were, but
Shellcorp blesses me.
that's a good hit. We will shrink. Hard choice here. Let's go for this guy, because we can actually make him not a threat at all, assuming we draw like a 2-drop or something. Alright, cool. So, yeah, this comes down. And now we're basically in business for sack outlets. It is kind of troubling that the Milo bombs are stacking up, but we have ways to climb our life total out of range. Like that. Alright, let's see what we can hit. Devour. And we will actually play that this turn. I probably shouldn't have played Shrine first, but Yeah, unfortunately, Milos, one of his many words on his wall of text is he gets bigger whenever you gain life. I think they were thinking, you know, having two abilities and putting firebombs in just wasn't enough. Obviously, he needed more.
A weapon for every occasion.
At least that's what I think happened.
A weapon for every occasion.
This is nice, because now we can take out Milos, and this should lock up the game right here.
Rebellion lives on.
We can attack for free and get some life back, and should be pretty set to win with Brand next turn.
Each scar is a lesson.
Alright, cool. That should be lethal, so we won't play around. Just, hit him. Yeah, so we have enough power there. I don't mind hanging on for more value with our Dova.
Now present.
Looks like our guys will be entering tapped this game. It's actually pretty good against us because it nullifies half of our shrine. But I find the lifesteal part to be the more important half. He's also gimping himself a card to do that.
Now present.
Definitely still good, but maybe a better card for when you're on the play. Whereas here we won't feel it as much.
Now presenting.
We need one more time sigil. Dova will be ready.
Who says you can't play with fire?
Watch your back.
Pretty nice to draw Vox here, but not ready to play him just yet. So we can kill something or make some nightmares right away.
True art requires suffering.
Devour is pretty good here because we can basically prevent his mastery and gain 6 life, basically. Alright. It seems like he might have more charge minions. Still gonna wait one more turn before I play Vox. And I'll just get my sight into play and hang back. Barring any dragon or removal spell, we should be able to defend this site. Okay. Still like Devour more. I don't think getting Shrine into play here. Well, yeah. So we'll play that. Boop 'em. And start playing for the 8/8. This also gives us something to ramp with next turn.
Whatever you need. I love my work.
Ah, yes. Doesn't matter how strong your deck is. You can just
Watch your back.
lose your whole board in sights to their 3-drop.
I nurture the shadows.
We'll get Vox into play here. We can untap with them, great. If not, we're just that much closer to Kato being online.
Run 'em through.
And we play Blade Crafter next turn. And assuming most of our guys trade or die, we will have some 8/8s coming soon to a Nightmare player near you. Guess our opponent's going to the bathroom, or they just left. Maybe they got disconnected. Who knows?
A weapon for every occasion.
Just pass it back. Yeah, this exhaust thing, while it's been decent, since we were on the play, we're still basically, we're able to keep board control the whole game, so I can imagine if this Praxis player gets ahead at all and they've got Shrine in play, or I'm sorry, Urn, it'd be pretty rough, but when you're already ahead, it doesn't make too much of a difference because you're forcing him to use removal instead of get on board. And it's looking like he just left. Very frustrating. We will go ahead and attack here. Claymore 6-6. I'm sorry, 8-6.
Guess they've caught up.
Just send it back. He stays AFK, he's dead here. Oh, well, maybe not. Yeah. So we... the Kato.
Now present.
Sacrifice here. Then we have lethal. Removal, reach, and card replacement all in one card on a decent body. I just don't know what they were thinking. We'll get our Wisp into play first. See what we draw. I'm actually not going to play the second Wisp here. I have a feeling he's going to use removal. Glad my my soul saw that coming. Very good land draw here. Play this out. Sack our homie. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but happens. Play out the Wisp. I could have played it in a different order, but kind of like that more.
I love my work.
Very interesting choices there. We will play Wisp and actually play out Vox here.
I nurture the shadows. Salvation.
I think we do just let him have his treasure. Next turn we'll have a pretty good source of blockers. Because we'll fire off the last rites. That gives us double fire and 2 Wisps come back. Potentially Devour could have been the better option there, but
Sorry. This way.
I wanted to guarantee we trigger our Wisps. Kind of fortunate for us that he played that. Almost clicked on the wrong thing there. We definitely want to hit the Wisp here. So, actually gets pretty spicy for us here.
nurture the shadows.
1, 2.
Guess they've caught up.
Then we will kind of just waste this token, but
A weapon
I'd like to
for
be able to
every
play Claw
occasion.
next turn.
Whatever you need. I love my work.
A weapon for every occasion.
Okay. So with that, our Claw can come down here, clear out Jack, and he does kill it. We'll have quite the good board, and if we can kill this guy, we'll have a shrine. We also have the option to just grab our other weapon.
We fight.
We strive when others falter.
Interesting.
Let us make bargain now.
Okay. I don't think I want to spend my whole turn
We take what we need.
going for a removal spell for next turn, so we're at a pretty healthy life total as well. We're gonna go ahead and play this first, and then we can decide. All right. We can go ahead and attack. Hey Bard, thanks for coming in with a raid. I always appreciate it, man. We can just devour whatever he blocks. Doesn't really matter. Okay, cool. So we'll devour this. Thanks, man. Have a good night. Fair enough. I appreciate you coming in with a raid. It always seems like your stream's finishing up right as mine starts, so I definitely luck out. Alright, Kato's not quite online yet. This guy's not actually dead, he's just stunned here. Still in a pretty good spot though for us. Let's just start off drawing 2. And Nexus and Vox here is just a huge pickup for us. Let's play Nexus first. And just keep drawing cards. I'd really like to see a Combust. No luck there. Get our Wisps back. And now we're gonna kind of force him to make some hard decisions here. And to protect our shrine, we'll go ahead and pop the Raven. Nice how much residual life gain this deck has. When you're not getting pressured, we're able to just So it looks like we lose this either way, but it drew us 2 cards and gained us like 10 life because he had to attack it and it triggered a few times, so we got plenty of value there. Alright, play out Wisp. Kato is online, so make sure we save some mana for Kato. Play Burglar.
What we need.
And we will sacrifice here. Nice. Okay, land coming down. Slight misplay there, but I don't think it'll make a difference. Hopefully Arcados. Oh, okay, so it did make a difference. We'll attack here. Arya plays, thank you so much. I appreciate the follow, man. And we'll just swing like that. So now Arcados online.
Smiles
And
on me.
we're looking pretty set up here to win next turn. Okay. Don't want to play our land yet. Let's just swing out. Let the blocks come as they will.
Now presenting.
Toss the weapon here, and you know, I really like Shrine, but I actually think Jawbone's better here. Because this lets us start getting our cards back. Yeah, that's all she wrote. Hand's pretty good. I'll play out Carver right away. Might die, but it close some of this Praxis aggro down.
Our bond is
Looks like it's just straight Stranger aggro. I still, if we've got Wisp, still feel better about hanging on to Carver for a little bit.
We harness our spirit.
Hopefully we can rip something good here. That is not something good. Play up Two-Face. Send it back. He's pretty good removing some of these abilities. Fun little incidental value there.
Our purpose is clear.
That's pretty scary. We'll block here. Save us more life in the long run. Start with drawing our card here. Well, I don't mind doing this. Nice little big guy. We untap with him, it'll be quite good. Alright, that's good for us. We're gonna start with killing his best minion. And now... potentially played that out of order if I draw a land here, but we can use salvo to... that's pretty good. This is gonna decimate our opponent's board, and we're set up pretty good here to close out this game. I'm actually gonna start attacking. We'd really like to we can get the skeletons pumping out too. Opponent will basically be done. Probably going to be devouring our moth here, but I'd like to see what he's doing before I grab stuff from the market board. Actually, if we moth his board here, we'll clean sleep the board, get possessed by horrors in play, and that should be all she wrote. Since I can't actually play this, probably ditch it, and doesn't matter too much. We'll go for this, and yeah, so we can sacrifice here. Play out the land. Potato.
No.
Shrine. And then second wisp. We will just A-space his sight. At the end of the cursed player's turn, play a 0/1 skeletal dragon.
We struggle and grow.
I've never seen that actually trigger on someone before. Might be an interesting strategy to perhaps give killer to Dova, or maybe some other way to reanimate him. He'll probably die right away, but you can give him charge with Shrine, and then bring him back and give him charge again. That dragon seems pretty sick at I guess it can't get sick since it's dead, but seems pretty good at sort of stonewalling your opponent. Trying to think what I want here out of my sideboard. I think we'll cut Voprex's Choice, and we're going to run Touch of Resilience and test this out in the sideboard. Might be an interesting play in response to a removal spell. And I'm a big fan of interesting plays. Alright, let's go for it. This hand is pretty bad. Any minion in that hand other than Carver, well, in addition to Carver would have been in keep, but this is a little better. We're missing any sort of card draw. So, if we hit card draw minion, we'll have to be sure we can get full value out of it before it gets removed.
Defend the throne!
I like playing Kato here. I don't mind baiting out pump spells and stuff, and Two-Face will be probably pretty good for us later on. Kato will fall off, making 8/8s. But if he can bait out a pump spell or force him to not attack, I'm pretty good, okay with that.
Defend the throne!
Okay. Here is, I don't think popping Kato here is more valuable. Let's go ahead and play Two-Face.
Watch your back.
And I'll hang on to Combust for now. Using it to clear Aegis just feels bad to me. Unfortunately, Blightmaw would only pop Aegis on one of them.
Sword or bullet?
He's just playing pump for straight damage now. Interesting decision. So, we'll go ahead. Maybe we can get lucky and hit his Warcried out guy. That'd be good for us. And looks like we did. He had a Longhorn coming in. Based on that though, we know he pumped something and it's in his hand. So, we just have to be aware he has something with +1/+1.
Back, fiend!
Kind of hoping he'd play something we could pop with White Moth, but no such luck. Let's Devour. I'd like to just draw some cards here. Land, White Moth, and crack the Aegis. Go ahead and swing in. And I don't really feel the need to combust just yet. Him war crying every turn isn't too big of a deal. We can just combust whatever else he plays. And in the meantime, gain some nice life. We're getting kind of rewarded here for waiting a turn to do that. We'll play out Bladecrafter.
For every occasion.
Actually, Claw's pretty good here. Probably better than Brand. Just having a ton of units will be a pretty big problem for him. I'm gonna crack the Blight Moth here, because it's just more damage. And yeah, I'll probably be wasting Blight Moth's trigger, but we'll be pretty big on board after this turn. Wow.
Every occasion.
Okay.
A worthy deed.
That's setting us up quite nicely. Ending a Giant's Growth or something else I don't know about. This could be a pretty back-breaking turn for him. Without thinking about it, Claw will be good next turn as well, so I actually don't mind doing this. We can attack, get some more damage in, and use our last combust, but our opponent doesn't have a board, and we've got 2 weapons against whatever his random cards are.
Trust in your skills.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna claw that, and like he might have a pump spell. Yep.
If I must.
Nice. We're gonna hang on to our lands because we've got wisps and, you know, market. So 7 power. We've already played the most expensive card. So the only argument to really play a land there is if we start chaining together some draw spells. But if that happens, we're already pretty set, so not too big of a deal. So that is a fantastic draw here. We go ahead and play Carver, sack, gain 3 life. It's just getting spicier. We'll go ahead and play Burglar too.
We take what we need.
And actually going to be sacrificing my flyer here. Because we don't want to hit him, because if we do, we'll lose all of that fodder out of our hand.